Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Happy Days Network and Nut House Productions is proud to give to you the brand new best wrestling podcast in the world. It's me, it's your boy, CMC. And my tag team partner for this show and the extended future is my man down here, Kyle Wyld, the wild child himself. Kyle, how in the hell are you doing today, brother?
I am doing magnificent today. How about yourself?
I am doing wonderful myself, my friend. I am just doing dandy. We were experiencing some negative energy this morning, so we had to cut the negative energy out because the NWA world champion right here, the world champion, the best champion of all, the best championship ever in professional wrestling. I can't have that in my vicinity. And I know that Kyle Wyld's a little too wild. He's a wild child. You don't know what he's going to do. He's a little wild himself. So you know what? He can't have all that negative wild energy in his area. So we had to super kick party right out. All that negative energy is out of the vicinity. And we are here. We are on some positive stuff. We're here tonight. We're doing this. We're going to talk about some wrestling. So I hope you're ready for that. I hope you got your weed ready. I hope you got your vapes ready. I hope you got a nice drink ready because we are going to be talking SummerSlam. Kyle, what in the hell did you think about SummerSlam? We actually got to watch this together in person, at least night one we got to watch together. What did you think all in all of night one and night two combined?
Emotional roller coaster.
I agree. What'd you like better, night one or night two?
Night two, I got to see my boy.
I would agree. Night two was much better.
I got to see both my boys actually.
I feel it. Yeah. Night one was a little interesting. There was some different moving parts in there that I don't think hit home the same way as I think that they wanted to. One of the things that we got to watch live together that I really didn't like the outcome of was Brock and Oba, the main event of night one. I love the fact that Oba Femi won. That's what we all wanted. We wanted to see Brock Lesnar, kind of quote unquote pass the torch onto somebody like Oba Femi. But there was something about the ending to me that felt real flat. I don't know what's going on with that, but going forward, we've got essentially no more Brock Lesnar. But it seems like they're saying it in a way that is very open-ended. If you watched Raw this past Monday, you saw that Michael Cole, every time they brought up Brock Lesnar, was, if that's the last time that we saw Brock Lesnar, if SummerSlam night one was the last time that we saw Brock Lesnar, then what a hell of a career Brock Lesnar was. And they played the same video package that they played after WrestleMania, that they played. It was the same thing. So what do you think about that? Do you think Brock's really retired, or is he gonna come back at some point in time? What do you think?
Honestly, my honest opinion is Nick Aldis is coming out of retirement as a wrestler. That's what's going to bring Brock Lesnar. There's going to be a management spot opening now. Who better than somebody that just retired?
So you're saying
that's how we're going to keep seeing Brock Lesnar.
Okay, so you're saying that Brock Lesnar is going to step in as a general manager and take Nick Aldis's role?
Yes.
Really?
That's what I'm thinking in the long run is going to happen.
Wow, I need a sound effect button for that. I need a wham, bam, 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 bam. By the way, shout out to Jenna out there, best in the world, CM Punk fan, obviously. We got Chef in the chat there too. Whoop, whoop. 2 whoops, 2 scoops, baby. Doing all of that. Shout out to JCW too. They're doing big things. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge fan of Vince Russo, bro. I know they got him writing for him, bro, but they're doing big things. Good for ICP. And shout out to them. But wow. So you think Brock Lesnar, a man who is notoriously known for not being able to speak on his own, needing a manager, needing a vocal ruler, essentially, somebody to talk for him his whole career. You think that guy is going to be the next general manager of SmackDown? Interesting take. I'm not going to
Yep.
say that it's a good take or a bad take. It's an interesting take there.
Well,
Um,
he's been a lot more active on the mic by himself lately too.
you're not
Though.
wrong, but I think the ending of that match on Saturday night of night one was a little weird. The way he grabbed the microphone and he said that stage like, "This is the past and this is the future." His voice is not. It's almost like you don't expect a man like that size to sound like he does. He's got a very like voice, and I'm not saying sorry, Brock, if you hear this somehow. I ain't dogging you out, but like, come on now. Nobody really expects you to have that voice if they've never heard your voice before. So I think a lot of the time he just doesn't know what, he's just not exactly the best talker. He's more of an athletic guy anyways, and he always has been. And that's it just is what it is. I think that going forward, Brock Lesnar is going to be retired. If the money's there, if there's something that they can do down the line, that's a big money moment, we can make a lot of money off this, we can market this, they're going to bring him back. They're going to ask him at least. But I think for the foreseeable future, we're done with Brock. We're not going to see him anytime soon. At least I kind of hope so. Because I think it's time. I think for Oba's sake, we really need Brock to go away so that we can sell the fact that Oba won and Oba's the new ruler. He is the new beast on the block. Another thing I want to touch on, you said Nick Aldis. What did you think of Nick Aldis and Gunther?
Everybody knew Gunther was going to win.
Of course.
Because WWE like to push him. Aldis looked amazing, though.
I think he did. For somebody that hasn't wrestled in the last couple of years, obviously, getting in the ring, I'm sure he stays fit. He's married to Mickie James. They have two beautiful children together. I believe 2 beautiful children together. I'm sure he stays in shape. I'm sure he is able to run the ropes, do whatever he needs to do. He's got the performance center at his disposal. He's got every time that, he can always go down and start hitting the ropes. I'm sure that he keeps up. But getting out in front of a crowd and doing your craft like that, there's nothing that can compare to that. You can't just do that in front of nobody. And I think that's partially why there was such a disconnect during the COVID era, because there was nobody there. Wrestlers feed off of that crowd. Even if you mess up, you get up and you do it again. I come from the stage. I come from performing on the stage. And a lot of the time, if you mess up, the people in the crowd generally don't know that you messed up because they don't have the script in front of them. They're not reading it as you're going along. You know what I mean? They don't know that you messed up. So if you just keep rolling with it and chug-a-lug and keep going, a lot of the time they're not even going to know you messed up. So if you slip on the ropes, whatever, bro, we're sweating in the ring and it's sweat. I think that the whole "you fucked up" chant is a little disrespectful, for fans that pay all this money to go and see these people that they love. But the second they make one little mistake, they're like, "Oh, you fucked up," and we want to make fun of them. But more than half of those fucking fat chuds sitting in outside could never do what anybody of those people in the ring can do. Let's just say that very clear. And I know I couldn't. Me myself, I can't. I'm not that athletic. I can't lift people up. I can't jump as much as I hate him. I can't jump around like Logan Paul can. I can't do the things that Javon Evan does. I can't do shit. Rey Mysterio's damn near 60 years old and he's still doing it. You know what I mean? Like that shit's crazy.
I can't do the Hornswoggle did.
You're right. Also, shout out night 2. Let's jump over real quick to night 2. Toredohausen, the re-debut, the comeback to the company. I guess he was there before, and I just didn't know it was El Torito until the last set. That was Torito. El Torito is back somewhat in WWE. He looks like he's going to be associated with Danhausen, which makes a whole lot of sense. Great fucking wrestler. For a little person, a midget wrestler, whatever you want to call it, in wrestling, the term midget is not the term that in all of life, right. in general, it's not the same. It's not. It's actually like it's just what it is. They're midgets. It's midget wrestling, and nobody's putting people down. a lot of little people take a lot of pride in doing that. And I know that people like El Torito, people like Dylan Postal, aka Hornswoggle, a lot of people that do that, they like the term. They don't like little person. They don't like being that. They say I'm a midget and that's what I am, and I don't call me anything different. I respect that for sure. And they're amazing athletes. They do some stuff that, you know, a lot of people they just can't do because they're not as tall as my knee. You know what I mean? But great stuff. Love to see Torito back in WWE because I think he holds his own place. He had that great match with Hornswoggle, that WLC match, which everybody thought was going to be a joke. And you could go back and watch that match anytime, and it's incredible. It's an absolutely incredible match. It's so fun. You're like, wow, I don't know why I'm loving this, but this is amazing. They're showing their athleticism. They're doing their thing. So shout out to Torito Hausen for being back in the WWE. Let's move to Cody, my guy, Cody Rhodes, and Punk. We had Jenna Brown in the comments here talking about best in the world. He did get the win over Cody Rhodes night one. Was a bit of a disconnect of a match. I think they kind of tried for a catch as catch can wrestling match. We're both the good guy and we're both going to try and be the good guy. And in 2026, I don't know if that fully works anymore. I think a lot of people want to see a guy doing, I think a lot of the time they want to see both people doing more heelish things that traditionally a babyface in professional wrestling wouldn't be doing. I think the whole era of the Eddie Guerrero type babyface that lies and cheats and steals, but does it because we endear him, we love him for it, and we want him to do it. That's you know, we want that. History repeats itself, and I think that, you know, during the 90s we had a lot of more let's blur the lines, let's have more realistic characters, less of like, you know, just this is the good guy and I do the right thing because I'm the right guy, you know. And I think that ultimately people want a little bit edgier characters on either side of the fence. And I think that match just didn't attract a lot of people. It was a weird finish. CM Punk got the win. Cody Rhodes is still no longer WWE champion. What do you have to say about that?
Honestly, I unfortunately couldn't watch night 2 live. I had to catch up with it with everything online.
Right.
But
everybody take a weed break.
It was a crazy match.
If you guys haven't smoked weed yet, I don't mean to interrupt you, but if you haven't stopped to smoke some weed yet, please smoke some weed. Let's get high together and let's keep talking about wrestling. Kyle, keep going. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. It was just like such a crazy match to still unpack for me, because like it was good, but like it wasn't, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm a little cloudy right now. Smoked before I did the podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, it just seems like what you were saying, that it didn't connect with you the way that you thought it was going to. You didn't think it was the match that we were going to have.
Those are the big boy words I'm looking for, but
Lillian in the chat right now asking, why is wrestling so staged? I understand, I just never understood why. So basically the reasoning why professional wrestling is staged is it's to limit, you know, the ability of getting hurt. So professional wrestling started back in the like the sideshow circuit, where it started really with strong men picking up things. I can lift this, it's very heavy. Then it turned into something like, oh, I'm gonna wrestle a bear. So they would get a bear and they would kind of train the bear enough to wrestle around with this strong man, and they'd take the bear on the road. And it was, again, dangerous because a wild animal can, you know, act however it acts. Well, then it turned into, I'm going to fight a human. Okay. Now they started actually hitting each other and fucking each other up and doing their thing. Well, they're getting hurt real easily because, bro, more than half of the things that happen in professional wrestling, you can't do that without fucking yourself up, let alone fucking up somebody else. Big time. So what they did was they developed something called kayfabe. It's a storyline. It's the ability to jump into this right here, and you believe that it is script. You believe that it is real when we all, when now we all know that it's scripted. Back then, there was no internet. There was no anything for anybody to go and look up and find the results of, because they all believed that it was real. And the way that they kept it real was skeptics that didn't agree that professional wrestling was real. They, there's always been skeptics. People, I don't believe this is real. Well, they would go up to the wrestlers and they'd say that, and the wrestler would tell them, okay, why don't you come to where I train at? And you can see how fake it really is. And what they would do is, it's called stretching them. They'd take them in and they would actually lock in those holds, the submission holds. They would actually lay into the shoulder tackles and the punches and the elbows a little bit harder than they normally would with people that are already in the business, to protect the business. Because then those guys that were skeptics would go running home telling everybody they beat my ass. That shit is not fake. But if you survived and came back the next day, then they started to let you into the thing. Okay, here's why we do this, here's what it is, and here's how you do it, and here's how you protect the business. As we've gotten older with the internet and things like that, things get leaked out and people just have to know how every little thing works. The only reason we know that professional wrestling is scripted now to this day, truly and fully, is because of the internet, truly. The breaking of kayfabe. It also doesn't help that during the beginning of the Attitude Era, Vince McMahon came out on live television and said that this was fake. It was scripted. What you're watching is, it's a scripted television event. And the reason he did that is to avoid paying a tax, a sports tax. He wanted to be taxed as an entertainment company, which doesn't get taxed at all, as opposed to a sporting event, which pays a very thick taxation. And if you look it up, believe it or not, the NFL is not a sports company. It's an entertainment company. Take that as you wish. But I think a lot more things are like professional wrestling than we believe. That doesn't make me want to not watch them, because I'm invested in both. But that's a great question, Lillian. Thank you for that. Got a little history lesson. Kyle, do you have anything to say about that? I'm kind of just eating up airtime here, man. You are just sitting there with your little hands. I feel like you need a cat. I feel like you need like a cat and like be stroking a cat.
I got a cat. I got Heaven got my cat right now. His name is Dom, and his nickname is Dirt. Take that as you will.
Dirty Dom.
She covered it pretty well. She said some people just scripted. Like, she's like, some people just like the drama of it being scripted, or like the soap opera aspect of it.
Jenna asked,
that's about.
Oh, actually, no. Lillian asked if you wanted to swap brain cells. Hers is less foggy, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute.
It's wild
either.
that many people.
I think she just wants to know what's going on.
It's wild that the many people would hate fake, quote unquote, fake wrestling are practically the same folks that don't support the actual sport. I could agree with that, because Greco-Roman wrestling, you see, there's a lot of crossover with that. There's a lot of people that go and collegiately wrestle, legitimate sport wrestle, not, professional wrestling that you see on TV. And they go from that to professional wrestling. And I love that, because it brings a legitimate sport aspect into something that's always questioned its legitimacy. The legitimacy of it is always questioned in this and that. Here's another thing that I think I want to touch on too. Just because it is quote unquote scripted or fake doesn't mean that they don't get hurt. Those injuries that they have are real. The weapons that they use are real. When they are showing you a steel chair, that is a real steel chair. You have to learn how to swing that. You have to learn how to take a hit. You know what there's a whole art form to this. Those tables, yes, they might take something and score the bottom of it a couple times so that when it breaks clean in the middle, but they're breaking that table. If you watch, and this is not me being sexist or anything, if you watch, the men go much easier through the table than the women do a lot of the times, and it's just because they weigh more. That's a real table. You know what I mean? Those dudes are 250, 300 pounds sometimes of pure muscle. You know what I mean? And there's just not that many women in the WWE right now that are Rhea Ripley size, that are pushing 200 pounds with just like twisted steel and sex appeal. You know what I mean? So the weapons are real, the bumps are real, the injuries are real, but we're trying not to have the injuries. That's all professional wrestling is. It is a soap opera for men. It is a TV show. It is that. But at the same time, it cannot be done if you don't have an athletic bone in your body. They are very athletic, every single one of them. I will give them that. They can all do something, and they all bring something to the table, and that's why they are signed to a WWE contract, or that's why they are signed to an AEW contract, or a TNA contract, or a Ring of Honor contract. It's because in the owner's eyes, in the booker's eyes, and whoever's eyes that is handing out contracts, they're bringing something to the table that's different, unique, fun, athletic, outrageous, whatever. And that's the point of pro wrestling. The same way that you like watching the outside life of a football player, it's the same thing with professional wrestling. Kyle is in his villain era. Kyle's a heel?
I was reading the comments. I'm sorry.
Kyle's a heel.
I guess I'm a heel.
You're a heel. You are a heel. Look at you. You fucking heel.
Yeah, I got
also,
that red
Mr. Max Wheel says you also cannot replicate the sound of a steel chair hitting someone. The crowd would know instantly if it was plastic. Also, hello, folks. How are you doing, Mr. Max Wheels? So happy that you hopped in here and joined us today for our first episode of the Wrestling Guy podcast. There's so much more of this coming soon. I am having just an absolute blast with this. Let's see what else we are talking here. Jenna says it's really cool to see all the talent and acrobatic work. Honestly, when I first started watching, that's what caught my eyes, especially the high flyers. So I want everybody that's watching right now to drop in there, who is your favorite high-flying wrestler of all time? I don't want your favorite wrestler of all time. It might be your favorite wrestler of all time, but I'm not necessarily looking specifically for that. I'm looking for your favorite high-flying wrestler of all time in the comments right now. Go. Kyle, who is your favorite high-flying wrestler of all time?
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy. That's who I've got on my shirt right here. Actually, funnily enough.
Oh, shit, that is
Jeff Hardy on my shirt right here. I got an old Jeff Hardy shirt that I've had for years and years. I decided to wear that today for the first episode because I like his face. His face is like, and it's really funny.
I love the face paint.
High flying, yeah, the face paint's cool. Again, something that makes him stand out. It's something that brings, that's what he brings to the table. You know what I mean? He also brings really shitty alternative music to the table. If you guys are into that, you can listen, go onto his Instagram and listen to that.
I like his music. All right.
Oh, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's very artsy fartsy. I think that he needs to stick to professional wrestling. Actually, I think that him and Matt both need to probably wrap it up. They're looking a little rough in the ring, and I want to remember the Hardy Boys for the spear, hanging from the thing, and I want to watch, Matt Hardy doing his broken character and all that. I don't want to see old.
That's what got me into wrestling. That got me into wrestling.
Really? Which one? The spear?
The wrestling, though.
The spear.
The spear. I was.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah,
that's what I want to remember the Hardy Boys for. That's what I want to remember the Hardy Boys for. I want to remember it for
Yeah.
all those TLC matches. I don't want to, they just showed up. They did a local, like an event at like a quadruple A baseball field. Like they showed up there and did that. And it was kind of sad. I'm like, this is so sad because
So
it's
they're
the
just free
Hardys,
agents right
man.
now.
Yeah, but
Right.
it was sad. It wasn't even the Guardians. It wasn't even a pro team. It was like quadruple A, and I'm like, oh guys, this is I just I don't want to remember the people that I grew up watching doing stuff like that. Good for them. They're making money. They're doing their things. They're out there supporting their family, whatever. God bless them, man. I'm not really trying to put them down. I'm just trying to give you my perspective of what it looks like because I love them. I loved watching the Hardy Boys growing up. My favorite high flying wrestler of all time is probably, I'm going to just do the easy one, Rey Mysterio. That's the first one that comes to my, to name. He's the greatest luchador of all time. He was the most successful in understanding that having a mask in American wrestling is very difficult because American wrestling relies a lot on emotions in your face and storytelling. And you go to Mexico and you watch Lucha Libre wrestling, and it's not like that. It is more acrobatic and more move, 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 move. And that's just the culture of that. That's what that is. We enjoy more of a car crash, and then it picks up and then it slows down and we see a story and then people interfere and then people do this, do that. It's all, and then you go to Japan and it's all about strong style and hard hitting and this and that. And then you go to the British style and it's catch can wrestling and it's world of sport wrestling and stuff like that. So it's just different cultures and stuff like that. But Rey Mysterio was the one guy that was able to understand that I have a mask on, but I still have to be able to tell people. So he's very good with his eyes and his mouth because that's what he shows. And it's when he's in pain, it hurts. And when he's happy or he's excited, he opens his eyes a lot. And if you look at Penta, he does that very well too. And that's how I know that Pentagon is going to be very successful in American wrestling because he understands that facials are everything in professional wrestling. I love Javon Evans right now. I love Penta. Penta's great too. There's so many great high flyers in WWE right now. Rob Van Dam. Okay. Nice one. RVD. Rob Van Dam. That makes me want to smoke my weed. So if you guys haven't smoked, or if you have smoked, it's time to smoke again because every time, you know what? I'm going to make it a thing. First episode, first thing. Every time Rob Van Dam gets mentioned, you have to smoke weed. Is that fair?
Fuck. Yeah, that's fair.
Is that every time? I think that if
Let me
Rob
get
Van
up.
Dam saw this, he would be so happy with that. Every time Rob Van Dam gets mentioned by one of us, it's like Pee Wee's Playhouse, the secret word. Our secret word is Rob Van Dam. And every time you do that, you don't have to go, but you got to smoke some weed. So everybody pull out your pens, get your weed ready, pack up a bowl, pack up a bong, roll up a blunt, do what you're doing, and let's smoke.
All right. I'm stepping outside real quick. Give me a second.
Kyle can't smoke in his house
Shit.
because he's a wild child. He'd be
No.
getting a little too wild, so he
Yeah.
can't burn down his house. He's got to smoke outside, ladies and gentlemen.
I do.
Ultimo
So
Dragon.
good thing I'm on a laptop, so I can just carry that one-handed.
Another name that is a great name. Old school guy, somebody that came from WCW. That's where a lot of American audiences saw Ultimo Dragon. He had like 18 belts at one point in time, and people thought that was really cool. So Ultimo Dragon, shout out to Ultimo Dragon. Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Jushin Liger.
Sorry for the wind.
Jushin Thunder Liger, man. Liger was great. Great high flyer, too. Edge spearing a suspended Jeff from the ladder was a classic. Yes, it was. WWE loves to show us that moment. They definitely will market that moment as much as they can and get every little bit out of that as they can. So, oh man, it's a little wild out there today. I'm gonna tell everybody now in the group right now. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that stuff that YouTubers tell you to do, because I ain't gonna tell you to do it. This is the only time I'm gonna tell you to do it. So you better do it now. Because the Happy Days Network, we've got so much great stuff coming. So many new fun things. The Wrestling Guy podcast is so happy to be a part of this, and I'm so happy to be able to be starting this up again. This is something that I've always wanted to do, is just talk to people about wrestling and get my opinion across about things, because I'm a very opinionated person and I want to hear your opinion too, because that's what the Wrestling Guy does. It's it's CMC, and we want to talk about wrestling. That's what we do here. That's what we do here on this show. So if you're a wrestling fan, if you love wrestling, or if you know somebody that loves wrestling, please go like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Send it to your friend, post it on your socials. Say, hey man, this is a great little wrestling show. It's just starting. Let's go support them. Let's go make something big. Let's go do something for the wrestling community. Let's go out there and I can promise you this. I can assure you of this. My right hand to God, or whoever you believe in, my right hand to the spiritual world, I will always give you my 100% honest, earnest, complete opinion. Whatever I'm feeling, no holds barred, nothing taken back. I will never hold back. I will always tell you what I'm feeling, but it is always out of love and respect and determination to get the sport of professional wrestling back on the map to where it needs to be. And if I have to break a few eggs to make an omelet, then so be it. But we are here because we all love pro wrestling. Let's make something big. Let's do something. Let's do something with this. With that being said, I want to talk about a little bit, because we got a little off topic there, but that was great. That was a great off topic moment. We had a question asked in the group, in the comments. That was a great question by Lily in there. And I want to talk about Rhea Ripley really quick. Chelsea Green won at the. Actually, before we do that, let's hold off on Rhea Ripley. I want to talk about this really quick. We got to talk about our tribal chief. I almost forgot, and I don't know how I did that. I should just slap myself in the face for that right now. As much as I might not be the biggest Roman Reigns fan in the world, damn, he's gonna slap me in the face too. We can't forget our tribal chief, Roman Reigns, who finally, after 10 years of being in the WWE or so, finally beat his brother, his stablemate, his enemy, his friend, his whatever you want to call it, the revolutionary and the visionary, Seth freaking Rollins. He beat him. It's good. He can finally get that little devil off of his back. He finally showed that he's over the chair. He threw the chair and he said, let's fight. It's over. I'm done doing this. I'm done falling into this trap. And it's good to see that Roman Reigns is moving on. I love how the match ended. I loved everything about the match. I thought it was easily the best match that I have watched all year. I loved it. It was terrific. And Roman can now move on. I love that they're just kind of like, we can be friends, we can be foes, but at the end of the day, we are brothers. We came into this together and we are going to come out. We're going to take each other out if we have to. So shout out to Roman Reigns. Put the ones up for Roman Reigns. The tribal chief finally has beaten his brother, Seth Rollins. What do we all think about that?
There's a lot to unpack there. There's a pack with that one. The only thing I don't like are the crazy fucking fan theories of the little M they made at the end by doing the classic pose, and them stretching it out so far and be like, "Oh, Moxley's gonna return soon." Moxley. Like we all want it. We all want the Shield back. We all
I'm
want.
I'm gonna be
we all
honest
want
with
it.
you.
But
do you want my hot take? Do you want my honest opinion after I just showed you that? I don't want John Moxley.
Yeah.
Back.
Let's hear your honest opinion.
I don't like John
That's
Moxley.
where I was going.
I hate John Moxley, in fact. I think that he's one of the worst wrestlers in the scene today. I can't stand John Moxley. I think that he is far too up his own ass. He thinks that every match has to be this, oh, my name's Moxley, and I'm gonna pull out my blood, and I'm gonna lick it. And the dude takes a back bump in the ring and starts bleeding on his forehead, bro. What the fuck? Even Ric Flair didn't do that type of goofy shit, bro. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. We got to get back to wrestling being wrestling. When you got people going in there and they're getting hit in the leg and then their fucking nose starts bleeding, what the fuck is that about, dog? I'm sorry, but that's the type of shit that I can't deal with, man. And I'm not saying that WWE is perfect. I'm not saying that AEW is the worst, but I am saying that I am not a John Moxley fan. So to everybody that's in the chat right now, everybody that wants John Moxley to come back, I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays as far away from the WWE as possible. And you know what? I don't think they want him because he said he would rather work at McDonald's than go back to the WWE. Well, you know what? That's fine with me. You go and you do your little pizza cutter with Nick Gage, and you do your little landing in acid baths and landing in rusty nails, and that's not wrestling, bro. That's not wrestling. Any old asshole off the street could pick up a steel fucking pipe and bash somebody over the head with it. That ain't fucking wrestling, bro. That's just how I feel. So if you're a John Moxley fan, I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. That ain't fucking wrestling. But moving on, we're not talking negativity. We're moving on. It is a little negative, but it's the beginning of something positive for somebody and kind of a roadblock for somebody else. Like I had mentioned before, Rhea freaking Ripley has undergone surgery for her, I believe, her right knee, and she's going to be out a lot longer than it seems. So, Chelsea Green had an amazing moment at SummerSlam. Finally doing what she's wanted to the most in her career ever, capturing that brass ring, that one thing that has eluded her whole career, a WWE main women's championship, and she's done it. And I want to know your opinion if you think that with Rhea Ripley being out now for the foreseeable future, are we going to roll with Chelsea Green as our main WWE Women's Champion, or are we still going to call her the interim champion and wait for Rhea to come back?
She's going to get the main championship, but the question is for how long? Because I feel like
she has it. She already has it.
Right. She does have it. But the question is how long? Because I think they're just going to use her like they did Kofi Kingston when he finally won his mainstream. I think it's just going to be a quick little, here's your month or two.
Well, this is the thing, though. Here's the thing. Kofi's reign was not, he defended it multiple times, did he not?
He did.
That's what I'm saying. So he did it. It's not like he had that short of a reign. It's not like a Zack Ryder Intercontinental Championship reign where he won it at WrestleMania the night before and then came Raw and lost it. You know what I mean? Or it's not anything like that. They gave Kofi a couple months with that belt, and to be quite honest, he's not marketable enough, and he wasn't marketable enough as a main champion, because that's why they put the title back on Brock. It has nothing to do with anything other than you've got to market this person. And in professional wrestling, I think people forget that There's a lot more money in the chase of a babyface chasing a big, bad, mean heel with the belt than there is the babyface winning that belt and then going on and seeing what he does with it. There's just more money in that storyline of chasing the bad guy when he gets the belt and then you don't know who's going to take it from him. So what is what is your take on Chelsea Green? So other than being you say, a couple months. I think that for the foreseeable future, with the way that her popularity is going and the way that everything has really gone for somebody like a Chelsea Green, I don't know why you wouldn't cash in on it now and start, really marketing her as the underdog champion that did it. And I would have her keep doing it until somebody comes along, a Rhea Ripley or something, or this or that. And kind of like what they did with Liv when Ronda, she faced Ronda and she beat Ronda. You know what I mean? And nobody thought that was going to happen. And maybe there's a moment where when Rhea comes back, Chelsea Green beats her 1, 2, 3, clean in the ring, gets her with a roll up. Whoa, holy crap. I didn't think that was actually going to happen, but it did. And now Rhea's got to go back to the drawing board. Oh, geez, man, she caught me. I underestimated this girl. Now I've got to go on this self journey and try and find what I got to do to beat this girl because I underestimated her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that there's a lot of money in Chelsea Green, one of my close friends. Shout out to Andrew in New York, Plattsburgh, New York. We love you, buddy, up in your cult town. He's a huge Chelsea Green fan. Absolutely loves her. And I can understand why. She's got a great work ethic. She grinds, she does what she's got to do, and she's finally getting her moment. How do you feel about Chelsea Green, period? Like, are you a fan? Are you not really a fan? Are you somebody that it's give or take?
Oh, I'm actually a huge fan of Chelsea Green.
Okay.
Honestly, like huge fan of her. But that's why I'm just like I feel like WWE is just gonna drop the ball. They're just gonna be like you said what you said. I just feel like WWE is gonna be like, all right, yeah, there is this possibility, but what's the chances of it happening when this person's already making us this much money?
Right. But the problem is that person that's making them all this money is not
what
there.
I feel like they're gonna say,
The person that's making them all that money is not there to make them all the money. So they need somebody else to make them all that money. I truly thought they were going to go with Charlotte because I'm a Charlotte guy. That's my girl. But they didn't. They went with Chelsea Green. They gave the feel good moment, and I thought it was great. Shout out to Chad Gable too. We'll touch on Chad Gable really quick. Shout out to Chad Gable for getting it done in front of his little boy and his family, and finally just getting a moment that was great in front of his hometown. You know what I mean? He's from Minnesota, and he still lives there. He said it in there. He said, "I still live. I was born, bred, and still live in Minnesota." So God bless him for doing that. He's truly passionate about where he lives and the state he's from, the same way that I'm passionate about Ohio, which means not to switch from wrestling to music, but I have got a new song coming out with J Sauce that is all about Ohio. So all you Ohio motherfuckers better stay tuned. But to go back with what we were saying, it was great to see somebody like that really get his moment, get his due. I always love seeing that. I love seeing people that, have truly earned something in this industry. At least to my estimation, they have earned a lot of things. Somebody like an LA Knight that I think a lot of people think he gets the short end of the stick, but he makes a boatload of money, man. And a lot of the time, that's what's most important because championships, you lose them to somebody. But that money, man, that can change your life. That's something different. The lifestyle, you know what I mean? And I know that Roman Reigns had to say what he had to say to him, talking about his watch. You're wearing a Walmart watch, whatever. But LA Knight's my guy, and I think that he's somebody that you should watch out for the Money in the Bank winner this year coming up. I think that here in the next couple months, on the next few episodes, we'll be talking more and more about um Money in the Bank and the things coming up, because we got Money in the Bank coming up. And that's a very, very, very pivotal moment in WWE. We'll be talking so much about everything happening in pro wrestling. If you want to hear more about AEW, let us know. Inbox us, message us on here. Comment on stuff when you see us post stuff. Comment on there and say, "Hey, man, I'd really like to hear you guys your take on." Uh, I'm trying to think. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. I might not have seen that match, but I'll go and watch it and I'll give my take on it. If you guys want to see more of us talking about TNA, we can do that. If you guys want to see more than just WWE, please, it won't be all WWE. We'll be talking about other things, but if you want to hear more and more about stuff outside of the WWE and things like that, bring stuff to our attention. You know what I mean? Let us know, because we want to make this show for you guys too. It's not just for me doing something that I'm passionate about and something that Kyle's passionate about, but it's something that we all are passionate about, because we all love pro wrestling and we all just want it to be good. We all just want people to love this and people to respect it, and to give it its due, give it its justice, because it's something that I've been watching since I was a little boy, and it's just something that I'm very passionate about, and I don't think I'll ever not be passionate about professional wrestling in some regard. Um, so I think that anything you guys want to hear, anything you guys want to see, we're going to have new segments. We might even have some guests on the show. If you want to see some guests on the show, some professional wrestlers on the show, some managers, if you have some friends that are on the independent circuit and you think that they need a place to come and talk their shit, let us know. Maybe we can get them on the show. We're working on some bigger name guests. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to, let any cats out of the bag, but Kyle Wyld, the Wild Child, is doing his thing on the ones and the twos, trying to make sure that we have a great guest coming up as our first guest on the
I
wrestling
am doing
podcast.
my damnedest.
He's doing his damnedest, man, but it's tough because people want money, and I understand that. They deserve it. They deserve it for sure. Kyle, my friend, have you had a wonderful time?
I've had a great time.
I have had a wonderful time too, honestly. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Is there anything else we want to wrap up about? Let's see what the comments are talking about. I don't think she'll be a paper champ like Kofi, Sammy, or So a lot of people have faith in Chelsea Green. It looks like.
Like I said, I love her, but it's just like, I don't have faith in the WWE.
Bring back James Ellsworth. No, Larry, we're not bringing back James Ellsworth, Larry. I love that you're watching the show.
Speaking
though,
of
Larry.
bringing back, how about we talk about Big Cass?
Big Cass. Before we wrap up, let's talk about Big Cass. What's everybody's opinion on Big Cass?
Yeah.
I love that he's back. I think it's great that he's a heel. Everybody thought he was going to come back as a baby face, and he's not. He's just a mean, nasty bastard, and I think it's going to be great if they just keep going with that. That is what WWE needs. They need somebody that is just, I'm here, and I'm going to fuck you up. That's what they need, because those are the best kind of heels. Somebody that can breathe down Roman Reigns' neck even. I mean, that guy goes and attacks Roman Reigns. He's just as big, if not bigger, than Roman Reigns. He can easily take out Roman. He goes and attacks CM Punk. As you know what I mean? He's a big, nasty bastard, man. I like Big Cass. I love that he's back. That's a great addition to the roster. They need to keep pushing him, and it seems like seems like he's gonna kind of attack the cruiserweight division on his way up the card. What's your opinion?
I'm just hoping and praying that fucking it brings back Enzo Amore.
I don't know if
I
we're
was
ever
a
going to
big fan of
see
Enzo.
Enzo Amore again in the WWE. I think he's a bit too eccentric for them, and it seems like he doesn't want to be a part of the WWE. He's got his big titty girlfriend over there that he's posting all over. his social medias, man, and making jokes about that and having a good time. So it seems like he's pretty happy in his life, and God bless him, man. I love Enzo. I thought he was great for the cruiserweight division. I thought he's an amazing talker. Absolutely
Very
amazing on the mic. When I first saw him in NXT, he was terrific, but he is a bit eccentric. He's a bit out there. He's a bit crazy, but so am I. And I think that's why I like him. I think that's why I wish that he was still around, man. So I'm with you. I'm with you.
I, I was a huge fan of him and Big Cass.
Yeah,
I was a
no,
huge fan.
it was a great tag team. They debuted on the main roster. Their debut on the main roster was one of the best I've ever seen. All the whole arena knew what they said, the whole shtick, the whole my name is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. How you doing? As much as I love
Ooh,
Enzo,
goosebumps. That's how I'm doing.
yeah, exactly. As much as I love Enzo, I think it's better for Big Cass to be alone, be by himself. I think it makes him more is serious of something. You know, if they put him with Enzo, I think it's going to kind of pigeonhole him a little too much into the tag division. And we all know that WWE's
Yeah,
tag
it's
division
gonna
is
danger
never really tag division in WWE because they don't necessarily always respect tag team wrestling like other professional wrestling companies do.
Baron Corbin. That's another one too.
Baron Corbin, another guy that won the United States Championship,
Right.
man. Baron freaking Corbin, another guy that I love seeing back in the WWE. I'm glad that he's back. I've always loved Baron. Great talent. I think that he's got a real unique look and he could bring a lot to the table.
Yes.
For sure. So there's a lot of new
Really,
moving
he really
faces. We might see some releases soon because there's a lot of faces coming up. SmackDown last night, Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley is now on the main roster. She is with Alexa Bliss. So, you know, we've got people coming up doing this, doing that. It always is a fun time after a big pay-per-view like that. Big Cass is a good one. I didn't know he was back. Yes, Larry, he's back. And he's a big nasty bastard. And I think he's coming for Roman Reigns. That is my prediction. Eccentric is good.
before.
Remember George the Animal Steel. Yes. Larry pulling names out of the vault.
Yeah. Holy shit.
George the
Didn't
Animal
he
Steel
used to
used
like
to
eat
eat
the popcorn
ring
turnbuckles? He would
Yeah,
eat
he would eat
popcorn out of the
no, that was the stuffing.
stuffing.
That's not popcorn. He would take the turnbuckle pads off and bite into them and eat it. And he had a black tongue and he
Yeah.
dude, and George the Animal Steel was amazing, an amazing talent. Oh, just somebody special. And then when he kidnapped Elizabeth, oh, and the Macho Man was so mad. Oh, that's a great storyline. Shout out to Larry in the chat pulling names out of a hat, man. George the Animal Steel, God bless him. That's going to be something to watch. That's for sure. Maybe one of these episodes we'll watch some old pro wrestling. We'll put on some George the Animal Steel. We'll put on some Bobo Brazil. We'll put on some Ernie Ladd, Big Cat. We'll put on some
Maybe we'll start hosting more wrestling events at the house.
Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, hey, if you know somebody that's looking for somebody to host a wrestling event, we would love to be there. We'd love to interview people. If you know people that are on the independent circuit that are looking for any kind of place to have out, reach out to and have a little, just have more reach out there. We would love to be involved with you guys. We're here for the community of pro wrestling. We're here to make wrestling great. I'm not going to say make wrestling great again because I'm not a fan of that guy. We all know that. But we want to make wrestling wrestling incredible for the first time. because it was great before. I want to make it incredible now.
That actually reminds me of something, though, Cody, because you were talking about the bare knuckle wrestling earlier. Abraham Lincoln, he was a bare knuckle wrestler.
He
He's in the
was.
Wrestling Hall of Fame for that.
He was. But
He is
see,
in
that
the
was
Wrestling Hall of Fame
also
for that.
a legitimate sport. That was something done in the 1800s, and he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was an actual wrestler. But he was a bare knuckle boxer as well. And that's, I think, why a lot of
Yeah.
people voted for him back in the 1800s, because he was a very relatable guy.
Like, we need somebody tough.
And now we're talking
We
about
need somebody tough.
politics. Isn't this crazy? Like I said, it's all about wrestling. If you read the description, it says it's all about wrestling until it isn't. And guys,
I was just bringing up Abraham Lincoln.
you're over here bringing up Abraham Lincoln. I'm over here hitting my Mario dab pen. We're all high. I've had an absolutely terrific time doing this today, and I cannot wait for episode 2 next Saturday. I hope you guys, everybody that was in the group chat, in the comment section today, I really hope that you guys come back, show your friends, everybody that's into pro wrestling. We'd love to have them. We'd love to have them as a part of Happy Days and the community and stuff like that. And Kyle, my friend, I love you. I'm so happy, Cody, that you have decided to do this with me. I think that this is the start of something amazing, and I can't wait for more and more going forward. With that being said, my name is the wrestling guy, CMC. And that guy down there is
just Kyle Wyld, man. I'm just the wild Kyle.
It's Kyle Wyld, the wild child, Kyle Wyld. We'll work on it, baby. We're gonna work on it. I love you. You love me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe if you're going out and doing something tonight. Be smart. Be safe. Love, peace, chicken grease. Wash your ass. Wash your face. Do all that stuff. Oh, Mrs. Producer, could you please play the outro? We love y'all. Peace.